So this is it. We were right over here. This is where we left off. So what do you think about this one? Can or can't? You bring a horse to water, but you make him drink it. What do you think? Complete this one, people.
You can bring a horse to water, but you can't make him drink it.
Excellent. Very good, Miss Bonfante, Miss Luz. Now, can turn? Can't. Great. So that was it. You see, it was very easy. Very easy. So let's continue. And right here we have now, listen, expressing possibilities. So we're going to talk about may and might. Once again, I'm expressing permission. We're going to, for this one, we're going to use may and can. So let's just get down to it. So take a look at the girl. She may be, I mean, she looks very surprised, actually. So maybe Alice heard some bad news. So she's surprised. Maybe, possibility. So take a look. It may snow this week. It might snow this week. Now remember, last time I told you that they have the same meaning, but the intention was different. Can you tell me what the difference? All right, I told you a minute ago, right? The difference was that we use may when you are sure, and you use might when you are not very sure. Like when you are 80 or 70% sure, and might when you are 30,
80,
20, or
20,
10.
10%.
All right, sure about something, right? But the intention, the meaning was the same, because if you translate it literally into Spanish, it's the same translation. Podría nevar esta semana. Podría nevar esta semana. But it all depends on how sure you are about this. Maybe in the first sentence, the person saw the weather's news, the climate's news, right? But here in the second one, maybe the person, he hasn't seen or she hasn't seen anything. She's just speculating about something. So this is how we speculate in English, by using may and might, all right? So let's continue over this way. We use may and might to talk about possibility. And then we have these other examples so you can see it. Now we have these two people here. And the man, they seem to be working on the computer. The man says, actually he asks, can we finish this by Monday? It's just a normal question, right? And take a look at their answer. Her answer is, I don't know. We might be ready by then. Now take a look. We may be ready by then. It says that she's not 100% sure, but maybe with the effort that they are putting on this job or on this project, they may be ready by then, by Monday, right? Because they are working very hard. That's why she's saying may. But if we have this might, all right? I don't know, we might be ready by them. What does it mean? It means probably that they are not working pretty hard on this. Maybe the project is so difficult to complete and Monday is so close. So there is a small possibility that they finish on Monday, but to be honest, maybe it's not a Monday, right? Perhaps it's another day. So this is what may and might express right here, a possibility. One shorter than the other. May shorter than might. So we have another example, take a look. This is for the negative form. Sorry. It may not snow this week. It may not snow this week. Now, when we say this, of course, we're again talking about something you don't know is going to happen, but maybe you saw the news, so you know that it's not going to snow. Let me see. Here, again, it might not snow this week. This is more a no. This is more a yes, it will, right? So it all depends on the context itself. So the negative form for may is always may not and might not in the case of might. Remember, may not has no contraction and might not has no contraction. So don't invent it, please. It is I mean, you never say mightn't because it's not possible, or mightn't because it's not possible, right? No contractions for them. I think that's clear. Is it? Is this clear then?
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
this is what we have to say for possibility. Now, another way of speaking about possibility was the one I showed you last week when we were in lecture number 3, that we can use maybe, the adverb, alongside will, right? Maybe it will snow tomorrow is the same than saying maybe, or I'm sorry, it may snow tomorrow, right? So it's just the same thing. Take a look and compare. Maybe the test will be hard. And what about if I say then, the test may be hard? I mean, these two sentences are, I mean, have the same meaning. They are the same, right? But they are, I mean, they are written in different things. The first one is using maybe altogether, that is an adverb, and the second one is using maybe, which is the modal verb and the verb to speak about possibility, the normal version, which is this one, right? So we have here the verb, the adverb, and the verb, right? Meaning the same thing. Now, when we use maybe, we normally use it at the beginning of the sentence. You can also use it at the end, right? You can say the test will be hard maybe, or the test maybe will be hard. I mean, you can use them like this. But normally, it goes at the beginning of the sentence, right? At the beginning of the sentence. In the case of may, we have following, right? So may is the main verb, the modal verb itself. So one is an adverb and the other one is a verb. This one means podría and this one means tal vez, having the same intention, right? Any question?
No, teacher.
All right, so let's move on. Let's move on to the next slide. Now, take a look at here. We were speaking about possibilities, but we haven't spoken about permission. Now, take a look. Yes, you may borrow my pen. Yes, you can borrow my pen. Take a look. One is more formal and the other one is less formal. Now, we're using may and can to talk about permission. And this is what you normally do in class, guys. When we were at the university, remember, in our beautiful class, and you were saying, teacher, can I go to the bathroom? Hey, that is asking for permission. That is expressing permission. There is another way to make it more formal about it. You can say, teacher, may I go to the bathroom, right? So take a look. When we use may for permission, and we can use can also for permission. But what is the difference between them? That, again, they mean the same because they mean poder anyway, but the difference is in the level of formality. May is very formal and can is less formal. When I say less formal, it doesn't mean that it is informal. No, it's just less formal. I will let you know in a minute how to use it in an average table, as I did with might and may and might, to talk about the possibility average, but this time to talk about the formality average. I'll let you know. I'll let you know in a minute. So let's continue over here. No, none of my business. As for the negative form, now, if we are giving permissions with a positive form, giving permission, to deny permission or not give permission, we say May not, right? So you may not borrow my pen, or you can't borrow my pen. Again, one is more formal than the other. We use may in the negative form and can't in the negative form to deny permission. I mean, not to give permission. I think this is clear. So let's practice a little bit. Take a look at the girl and the man. We have this maybe and maybe. So what do you think it goes in here? I done with this project tomorrow.
I may be.
I may be, right? Yes, the modal verb. I may be done with this project tomorrow. Great, very good. How about this one?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. The adverb. Very good. Now, I know that probably, guys, you have seen this before, but maybe you have seen this word. Have you? Have you seen this word?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, perhaps, right? Perhaps is just the same as maybe. Maybe means tal vez, and perhaps means quizás. Maybe they have different meanings, but the intention is the same. So here you can say maybe I'll be done with the project tomorrow, or perhaps I'll be done with the project tomorrow. If you want to use perhaps, it's also possible. All right, let's continue. How about here? The boss told me what we maybe or can that we can use the new color printer. Very good, guys. So I think it was clear, was it? Was clear? I think it was.
Yes. Yes.
Great, very much clear. So let's continue on the next part. Now, we're using, take a look, could to express possibility. Now, some time ago, I told you, and last week, I also told you that for possibility, we use may and we use might. But we can also use could for possibility. Now, I'll show you how to use it. Take a look. Take a look at this girl. She seems to be having a really, she's taking a walk. Maybe she's going somewhere. Take a look at her bag, right? And she's taking a very, take a look at the path she's taking. Maybe this could be a long walk. Yeah, there's nothing in her surroundings or by these surroundings. So take a look. Why isn't this working? That's what the man is asking to the girl who's working on the computer. So she says, I don't think it's serious. I don't think it's serious. It could be just a weak battery, right? Can somebody of you guys translate this sentence, like the whole sentence, to me into Spanish, please? One person, only one. Nobody? All right, I'll translate it myself then. I don't think it's serious. No creo que sea serio. It could be just a weak battery.
Eso podría ser como...
Puede que sea la batería, right? La batería esté descargada, algo así, right? So take a look. Puede que sea. I'm talking about possibility. Is she sure about that? Is she sure about the battery being weak?
No.
No, she isn't, right? Yes, which means that I can use might and I can use may too as well. But to show you how to use each of them, let me do this for you. So to speak about possibilities, I have already told you that may, right, is like the 80, I'm going to do it again, 80 or 70%
70.
of the possibility, right? But what happens here? Then we have the following. I mean, I had also told you that might, all right, is the third, sorry, no, 30, yeah, 30, all right. 30, 20, or 10% of the possibility. Hey, but what happens with could? Can you see something there? Could is just right in the middle, which means that is the 60, maybe the 60, or the 50, or the 40%, all right, of the possibility. I'm sorry, let me, like this. Is this clear? So, from what I have already told you, I have already told you that may and might are used to talk about possibilities. And I gave you some average of how to use them like this, like 80 and 70, 30 and 10%. But could comes right in the middle. Could is like 50-50. You don't know if it's going to, if you're very sure, or you don't know if you're not very sure, right? It's like right in the middle of may and might. May, very sure. Could, 50-50. And might, you're not sure about it, all right? Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. So let's leave it just right there. Let's leave it just right there. And copy it if you need it, right? Copy it. I'm gonna leave it there. And let's continue. So take a look. We use could to talk about present possibility because this is a present possibility. But you can also use could to talk about the future possibility like might and may, right? Take a look. Take a look at this example right here. Again, the man and the girl working on the computer, and the girl says, hey, this error could cause problems in the whole company. Now, how, is she 100% sure about it?
No.
No.
No, she isn't. Maybe she's like 50% sure, all right? But can I say this error may cause problems in the whole company? Can I say it or I can't say it? This error may cause problems in the whole company?
Yes.
Yes, I can say it, all right? But what is the difference? That I am very sure that probably there is a big error, right? And this is really going to have problems for the company. In the case of could, baby, I am not sure if it's a bad error or a good error. It's like 50-50. And what if I say, exactly, and what if I say this error might cause problems in the whole company? Is it possible?
It's possible that you're not really sure.
All right, you're not sure. Maybe the problem that you have is not a big problem, and well, nothing is going to happen, right? So yeah, in this case with could, we are foreseeing the future. We're like speculating or thinking about the future. So this is a future possibility. So we can use may, could, and might so far to talk about possibility, guys. So is this percentage table clear to you, or do you still need any further explanation, guys? Is it clear or not?
Clear.
Great, it's clear. Can we continue?
Mister,
Yes.
¿podría por favor repetir?
Sure.
¡No, repita! Me van a dejar a bulla.
All right, so we have this part right here. We have this example. Take a look at what it says. If you translate it into Spanish, it says something like, este error podría causar problemas a la compañía. If I say this error could cause, or this error may cause, or this error might cause, con cualquiera de los tres, right? The meaning is the same. El significado es el mismo. But the intention is different. If I say may, it means that it's a very big problem. And maybe the company may have a lot of problems, right? If I use could, I am not very sure. I am not very sure is if the problem, I mean, if the error can cause problems or not, right? It's like 50-50. And in the case of might, I mean, maybe it's not a big error, it's something superficial, and I mean, nothing is going to happen. It might cause problems, but I mean, there's a small possibility for the problem, I mean, for the company to have problems, right? So that is the thing. When you have may, you are sure. I mean, you're very sure. Not sure, very sure about something, right? You're very sure. Not 100, but you're sure. When you use could, you're like 50-50 sure about it. And when you use might, you're not sure about it at all, right? So those are, I mean, that's basically the whole thing. If you understand this average table that I did for you right here, you're gonna be all right. You know how to make speculations about about the future, because esta es una manera de especular. De hecho, es la manera de especular en inglés. Es como se hacen las especulaciones. Hablar de posibilidades en el futuro. All right? So, can I continue now? Is it clear?
Yes, mister.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's continue. Now let's practice. Let's practice. Take a look. Present or future? Let's see. I like to see a beautiful place. Is that we could go to Thailand? Is that a future possibility or a present possibility? Future or present?
Future possibility.
I mean, that is a future possibility. We could go to Thailand. Are you going to Thailand now? No, you're thinking about the future, going there. Now, how about this, man? Take a look. He's a chef. He seems to be very skillful at it, right? But take a look at Span. He's on fire. So, oh no, this could be a problem.
Present.
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 All right.
Present.
Take a
Present.
look. Take a look.
Why?
Why? Because the problem is not showing right now. Take a look. Is it the problem showing now? I mean, he seems to be controlling the fire because he is a good chef, right? But now let's change it. Let's change the person, not the chef. Imagine me in that position. I don't know how to cook very well. And if I do that, is that a future or a present possibility?
Future.
If I do it, because I don't know how to cook, I don't have control over fire, it's a present possibility. But he is a chef. He knows what he's doing. I see that, and I see this could be a problem. But I mean, maybe the current could happen if only if he just doesn't pay attention to what he's doing, right? So this is a future possibility. Now here, take a look at the woman here. She is fixing the car. Now the car doesn't run. The battery could be dead. Is that present? All right.
Present.
Present.
Present and future, right? So this
Present.
is very easy to recognize and to see it. Now, do you have any questions then? No questions?
No.
Okay, great. Now let's continue with the following one. Now we are going to talk one more time about may, but this time not for possibilities. This time to talk about polite questions or formal questions. So we're going to use may I, could I, and can I. So take a look at this. May I help you? Oh, that's very formal. May I help you? So take a look at this girl right here. She's holding a camera in her hands, and she has the intention to take a picture of this woman right here. So she asks her, may I please take your picture? May I please take your picture? She could also say, hey, could I please take your picture? Or can I please take your picture? Now, let me ask you, is there any difference between these three questions right here, or are they the same? What do you think? It's different or the same?
And the difference is polite, maybe?
Yes, the difference is the formality, right? The politeness, the formality. Now, if you translate this into Spanish, the meaning is the same. ¿Podría tomarle una foto? That's what it means. Podría tomarle una foto with me. Podría tomar una foto con can. O podría tomar una foto con could. O puedo tomar una foto, whatever. Means the same thing. It has the same intention. But the difference goes on the formality, the level of formality. I will give you, right now, I'm going to do another table so that you can get to know the formality about this, right? So, what are the possible answers to these questions? Like this, right? We had yes, of course, okay, sure, yes, of course, yes, certainly, sorry, not today, and people, I mean, American people, they use this a lot. They use that. Now, as for the politeness, well, as Mr. was saying here, may is very formal, could is formal, and can is the less formal, right? Remember what we said here? Let me go back here for a second. Wow, a lot of it here. I said that may was formal and that can was less formal, all right? Now, may is formal, could is formal, and can is the least formal of all. That's what it is. Okay, so let's continue, like right over here, take a look. Take a look at the word please in this sentence. May I please? You can use it like this, guys. It's not very common, like to use please in this position. You can use it if you want to, right? But when we use please, we normally take please at the end of a sentence. Take a look. May I take your picture, please? All right. Normally we use please at the end. It sounds more sophisticated. It sounds better than using it in here, right? So if you want to use something with please, like to sound more formal, to sound more polite, and in combination with may, or could, or can, please, use please at the end of a question. Could I take your picture, please? Or can I take your picture, please? Also at the end, right? I don't think there is any question. Now, this is like the first one. Take a look. It's similar to the first one. Please is not at the end. Please is in the middle. I told you that this is possible, but it's not very common. Now, when we use this, we better just eliminate please, right? And do something like this. Like, may I take your picture? Could I take your picture, or can I take your picture? It's like straight to the point without using please. Use please only to soften the question or to soften the request. Okay, so take a look. This is how we use it without please. I don't think you have a question. Do you have any question? Do you have any questions, guys? Maybe you don't. Okay, so may. So take a look at this. May. In this case, we're going to speak about level of formality, not level of possibility, all right? So may is like the 80. Let me write here, the 80% of the 80% could, let me see here, could is like 60%, why not 60? The 60%. And can is like the 50%, right? So this is how it works, guys, for formality. This is how it works, right? May is very formal. Like when you use may, you're using, you know, like these rich people that they are all the time like with a little finger up the up here, like they put it up here, like, oh my God, can I do this for you? May I do something for this? All right, may. If you want to speak like this, you gotta use may because it's very formal. In case of could, it's just like 60%. It's also very formal. And in case of can, it's also formal, but is the less formal of all, right? Please remember this little table of percentage, formality percentage right here. Remember about it. I may ask it later. So let's continue. Let's practice a little bit. So, correct or incorrect? Can I please borrow your car? Is that correct or not?
Correct.
Yes, that's correct. All right, this is correct. So you got here? That's right. That's correct. How about may I borrow your car? Is that correct or not?
Also correct.
Also correct. That's right. Now, how about this one? Could I borrow please your car?
Correct.
No, that is incorrect. Take a look at the position of please. Yes, please go there. Please go
No.
here or at the end. Here, it doesn't go, right? So this is incorrect right here because of the position in which please is placed. So be careful with those little tricky things because those are tricky. Okay, I think this is clear. Now let's continue on, take a look. We continue, polite questions, but this time with would you, come on, or come up. Would you, could you, will you, and can do. Also polite questions. So take a look at the nurse right here, and we have a little girl, and they have a stinking here. Take a look. Oh my God, I don't like this. Anyways, would you please sit still? Would you please sit still? Well, let's see what it means. Here we have another group. Let me eliminate the what I have done here. There it is. So take a look. Would you please explain that again? Could you please explain that again? Would you please explain that again? And can you please explain that again? Guys, they all have the same meaning. Basically the same meaning, right? They mean the same. If you translate them into Spanish, it's the same. I know would. I mean, ¿podría explicar eso de nuevo, por favor? That's what it means, right? All of them, all four of them. But now you may be asking, teacher, you may be wondering, teacher, but would means nothing and will means nothing. Why would you're saying that means podría, and why will means podría as well, right? Well, when we use polite questions, would and will, they can, actually would only, right? Because will has another meaning. Would can mean podría, right? Only in this situation, remember, only in these situations, because normally would doesn't have any meaning. It's just the ending words dia of the verb, the main verb, right? Like explicaría in that case, right? Remember, that's what we use would for. But here in polite questions, we use would to talk about, to be polite. And it means, solamente en este caso, podría, all right? And take a look. When we use would, it's very formal. It's actually more formal than may. I will give you the table again in a minute. Now, could, the same thing. Formal, formal, can, formal, but boom, we have will. Will, guys, is informal. When we use will, we are actually asking something like this in Spanish. I mean, if you translate it, like if you put it down into a translator or something, the meaning or the translation would be something like, ¿quieres explicarme de nuevo? ¿O podrías explicarme de nuevo? That's the translation that you would find. But the real translation with will would be something like, explícame eso. Explícame eso, por favor. I mean, that's very direct, right? That's very direct, actually. Now, to give you another example, let's pretend you want to ask money to your father, right? Oh, you normally say, Daddy, can you give me 1,000 pesos, please? No, can you give me? Or Daddy, could you give me? Or Daddy, would you give me 1,000 pesos? I mean, because that's very polite. But if you, I mean, the situation, because you are being very formal, you're speaking to your father, you don't need to be formal. You just will. Daddy, would you give me 1,000 pesos? In Spanish, like, papi, dame mil. That's what we say here in Spanish, here. I'm speaking about Colombian translation or Barranquilla's translation. Papi, dame mil, right? Something like this. This is what it means right here. So will is used for questions, but I wouldn't say polite. Actually, here is not polite. It's the most informal one. It's the informal question, right? It's for informal questions. So I will give it to you like the complete stuff in a minute. So take a look. Wait, here, annotate. No, test. Here it is. So we have here would is like the 90%, all right? Then we have may, that is like the 80 I told you, right? Then we have could, that is like, I said the 60%. Then we got can, that is like the 50, I had said it too. And finally, we have will, guys, I'm not going to give it any percentage. I'm just going to give them, I'm just going to say that is for informal, all right? So the rest of this, I'm going to call formality. Formality. So this is how it is, right? Take a look, this is how it is. Would, the 90%, very formal, very formal. May, 80%, very formal too. Could, 60%, formal. Can, 50%, formal. But will, informal, right? So this is what you should know. And if you know this percentage of formality, then you might be able to know in which situation you are going to use each of these modal verbs in this kind of tense right here. So guys, is this clear?
Yes.
Okay, okay. I'm going to leave it here so you can write it down into your notebooks or wherever you want to write it down. And we are 1 minute away from logging off our section one more time. Now, when the section gets locked off again, you're going to have 5 more minutes break. And in 5 minutes, we get locked back in. All right. So these are the possible answers, guys. These are the possible answers to these questions. I had already showed them to you, but let's show them again, right? Like, yes, sure, yes, of course, certainly, okay, of course, I'd be glad to. Como un placer, por supuesto, sería un placer. O me encantaría.